We start with the weekly chart. Okay, based on weekly chart, as we can see, we have been within this move. We have a few correction, and this is the biggest one which we get within this move. All right, now the thing is, this is the only correction for the next move or not? Because as we can see, this based on weekly, this one is quite sharp. If just we trading based on the weekly, okay, we analyzing how high it can go before we get the next correction, and we need to know, as an example, we have this. For example, we have this correction here. We have a sharp move, bigger correction, which we get the next impulse. What I want to say is that when we see this one, we need to get another. We should expect. Expect that another correction can be. How deep it can be, we are not sure. We need to at least be aware about this. Okay, but if we look at here, we have this two as a running flat. Okay, no, I don't need to explain about these things. What I want to say, if the price continue any of this level, we can expect a big correction. All right, I don't think the price can continue. Again, we're talking based on the weekly chart. We do the correction. Okay. Anyway, we want to see how we can trade it based on lower time frame. If we move to lower time frame, what I'm looking for is, as this one is a correction in relative to this, but we need to know this is the expanding flat with this. And sometimes we need to be aware of the expanding flat. Anytime can change. Maybe we know we consider it as expanding, but this one can drop, then change the whole story with 1, 2, 3 with this correction for the next move. Okay, now we don't need to care about whether this is expanding or not. The only thing is when we have this move, we cannot jump into the trade. We need to get the correction before we take the trade, next trade. And as we can see based on daily chart, and we don't have anything, so we want to see how we can trade based on lower time frame. Okay, based on forward chart, we have this one. Whether this is the only correction similar to any of this for the next move, or we can expect a bigger correction. For me, I think if we get the bigger correction, the next move can give is like confirm that can break this line below the correction, and the next correction will be above this, above 235. Okay, made here. Okay, I don't need to talk about that again. I mean, we don't need to just make it so complicated. The only thing is, this is the only correction, or we expecting a bigger correction. We prefer the bigger correction for the continuation. All right. Anyway, how we can trade it based on lower time frame? We don't have any trade set up here. Okay, as we can see, based on lower time frame, for example, we have this correction with the small flag, short move flag. This one, actually, this one should be based on lower time frame. Okay, no, whatever the trade we have here, it was like with a small correction, and now we get the bigger correction here relative to this. Now, again, can we expect any correction similar to this? At least the price move up, whether test the top or not, we get one move down before we look for buy, or this is the only correction and the price can continue from here. Okay, if this is the only correction, the next day, if the price continue a bit higher, if we get the small flag, we can take it a trade. And if we get a trade, as long as the price comes to this high, we need to manage it. If we see there is no continuation, we take it, because then we can expect one move down. But if the price start to drop, that means we get one more, at least one more drop, and the next drop should break this low. It become bigger, better. Then any trade again, is we take it with a sharp of like, then that trade mostly can break this top. But again, even the price drop, we get the bigger correction. If we get any trade, as long as the price comes to this level, we need to start to manage it. All right, because we need to see how big this one can be, and this correction, how deep it can go. Right now, I cannot see how it can fall. The only thing says, if we get a bigger correction, it can give us a better trade. This is what we are more interested. Then if we get from there, we see how we can trade it. And what I want to say is that if the price reach start from here, and this is the only correction I mean, similar to any of this, then traders, if they want to take the trade, at least they should know how to manage the trade in case the price tag the top and drop again. All right. Anyway, we don't have really good trade setup here, and the only thing is we prefer to get the proper correction before the continuation, before we jump into the trade. Anyway, we just follow the chart, and the next day if we see what we will get here, then from there we can make a decision how we can trade it. Okay, but right now we don't have any trade setup. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any changes, or I mean any trade setup, then I will share it with you. Thanks.